Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Tennis channel. And today I'm gonna talk about the new Yonex Ezone 2025. But first I gotta say thank you Yonex Thailand for sending me these demo rackets to try. Here is the Ezone 100 and here is the Ezone 90. I think, not sure if you can see, the font is not very visible. But yeah, looking at the paint job, I think this is pretty beautiful. When it came out, I saw the photo and I was like, this color is not going to be good. But when I see it in person here, I think it does look a lot better than in the photo. So yeah, definitely check it out. The design is bold. The color is neither bright or dark. It's perfectly in the middle. So I think a lot of people will like it. The color will make you stand out in the court, like people can see you from far away, but it's not like too colorful like a Pure Aero Rafa or like too bright like a new Head Extreme. So today I will mainly talk about the Ezone 98 here because it's just my thing. I normally play with the 98 square inches head size. It's the spec that I normally play with, and I also have the previous generation of the Ezone 98 here in Naomi Osaka limited edition, so I will be able to like play with it side by side and compare it. Both rackets are strung with the same setups, which is the Polytour Pro 1.25 at 46 pounds on the main and 44 pounds on the cross. It's a little low, I know, but I just want to try my reference tension first. So before we get into that, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. I'm targeting at 10k subs right now, so it would be great to have your supports. First, let's talk about the specs. So the new Ezone 98 has 98 square inch head size and 305 gram unstrung weight, of course. Unstrung balance is 31.5 centimeters or 9 points headlight. So the strung balance should be allowed 32.5 centimeters or 6 points headlight. Now let's see what this is about. New Ezone Play Full Power. The racket has isometric head shape to increase the sweet spot. Yes, this has been here for a long time and it does work. It has Minolon inside the graphite plates, and this is a material from Minomushi backworms. What the hell is that? It enhanced the vibration dampening by approximately 6%. Don't tell me the Ezone in V-Core is already so muted because of the VDM. This version still has it, and now it's more muted. Okay, now I think what to expect. It kind of makes sense though, as much as I hated the VDM and how muted the racket is. I truly cannot imagine how Yonex will improve the Ezone line because it's one of the most complete rackets already, except making it softer. So if the racket is softer, I think it does complete its job. Here is my 2022 Ezone 98 static weight 328 grams, swing weight 309, which is quite low. And for the 2025 version, static weight 328 gram as well. Swing weight comes at 314, and that's a better number. Let me recap the Ezone 98 2022 for a bit. Basically, it's a great all-round racket. It has good power, spin is good, not the best, launch angle is medium, and the ball goes pretty fast, so you can hit with fast pace on both wings. It doesn't go in a projectile trajectory, but more of a laser beam trajectory. It has good power on the serve, not outstanding, but I find it sufficient for my game. The racket is forgiving for a 98 square inches head size because it has generous sweet spot thanks to the isometric head shape. And the racket is very predictable for me. I find the consistency very good. It can rip the ball on forehand and backhand, especially when you use your wrist a little bit more. Backhand slice, very effective. You can get it like deep and the ball stay low with a lot of backspin and side spin. The things that I hope it can be better, first is the comfort, of course. because many people find it too stiff and jarring, although I don't have any problem with it, but I can see why. Second, the feel is too dampened for my preference. Third, I think the stability could be better, especially when dealing with heavy balls, and I would appreciate more maneuverability as well. But with this type of beam, I wouldn't get my hopes up that much. Lastly, it doesn't have such a powerful serve and a great return as a V-Core 98, so I hope it could be a little bit better in this department. Now let's jump to the Ezone 98 2025. So right off the bat, I would say there's no significant changes from the previous generation. I think the rackets swing exactly the same. The weight distribution and stuff feel pretty similar to me. There are only a couple things that I noticed the differences between the 2025 and 2022 version, which I will get into that later. But first, let's talk about the feel, because anyone who is hoping that this racket will feel better than the last version, you will be disappointed because it's even more dampened. With that Minolon technology or whatever, it does mute the racket even more, and I don't like it. On the bright side, the racket is softer and plush. I suspect that beside the racket being more dampened, I think they reduce the stiffness of the frame, especially at the throat area, to make it more flexible, like many other rackets in the market right now. But the hoop is still quite firm, and you will notice this on the serve or when you hit the ball a little bit toward the hoop of the racket. So I would say, even though it's more muted and disconnected to the ball, it will be better for the majority of people because it's way more friendly and softer. I think it will be compatible with more string setups, and you will have more options on string tension as well. The power of the racket. I have read so many comments and reviews that say this new version is more powerful than the last version. Well, I would say yes and no. I think this is the result of the topspin. I find that the 2025 Ezone 98 has lower access to spin, like you need to focus a little bit more on hitting topspin to achieve that. While on the last version, the topspin comes very naturally, so the trajectory of the ball in this new frame is more laser beam than the previous version, and the launch angle is a little lower, so people may feel like the ball is faster and more powerful. But I find that if you hit 100% flat with only little topspin, the ball goes just the same. So I wouldn't agree that this racket is more powerful than the last generation. I find that the string bed on this 2025 version is a bit more responsive. I mean the dwell time is slightly shorter, and the ball goes off the string bed a millisecond faster. It has become more of a point and shoot racket. I think they try to make it more modern than it already is, and now I think it works better with compact swing than full swing. It also works better with semi-western than the eastern grip. I think now the Ezone is more suitable for flat hitter than topspin hitter. And it's like Yonex try to distinguish players who hit flat to come to the Ezone 98, while topspin players goes to V-Core 98. And like previously, that it's kind of mixed because both rackets can do great with any style. What I like about this racket, well, I think it's softer overall. I feel extra confident trading shots cross court, forehand and backhand. I can pull off some short angle cross very effectively and confidently. The racket has great amount of power and is forgiving. You don't need to be like 100% precise to send the ball. Even when you didn't meet the sweet spot, the ball still goes like 60-70%, which is very acceptable. Unlike many other control rackets that will give you almost nothing, that if you didn't make it right. I can deal with rising balls and half volleys effectively, sending the ball back with pace. The Ezone 98 can still rip the ball when swing out. There's a lot of power and pace from this racket, easy to hit winner. What I don't like about this racket though, First, I'm not a fan of this kind of muted feel. I think I lose sense of topspin and slice a little bit. Probably this is the reason why I feel like the topspin potential on this racket is not as good as on the last generation. Backhand slice also drops as well. It's no longer outstanding in my opinion. I'm not very confident on approach shot and down the line. I feel like the balls can go to the net, and it went to the net a lot because of lower topspin and launch angle. I have to adjust by hitting it up more and then try to push it down, but some balls doesn't loop in and ended up flying. The last thing is that I think the racket is a bit slow on the take back because of the thick beam. In summary, I wouldn't say there is a big changes from this version and the last version. I think it's more suitable for flat hitters, and it's still a great racket that you should consider demoing it for sure. The racket is very versatile for many styles of play, from baseliner to all court players. Counter punch is good from the baseline. It's good at the net. Serve and return is good enough. Who this racket is for? I would say intermediate level and up, because at the end of the day it's still a 90 square inches head size racket. But it can be your first 90 square inches head size racket if you want to switch from a twinner racket to something like smaller head size, because it's very forgiving. The sweet spot is large. Anyway, if you ask me which one do I prefer, this version or the 2022 version, I think I prefer the 2022 version a little bit more because of the sense of spin that I could feel from that racket, and the launch angle that is higher, so I don't have to like concern about the net as much as hitting with this one. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. I will review the Ezone 100 next, so stay tuned.